What's your favorite thing to do to procrastinate and avoid doing the work that you're supposed to do? I'll go first. For me, it's doing unnecessary plant chores. Like, I know it's Friday and it's the end of the week, but I still have a lot of work to do. But I'm not doing it, and instead, I am repotting these plants. Honestly, they don't really need repotting, but the reason I am repotting it is because this is a monstera standleyana albo, and this one is an epipremnum pinnatum variegata. When this was a much smaller plant, one of the nodes or one of the plugs, I wasn't sure if it was the epipremnum or the monstera. And now that it's grown, I can see I put a monstera standleyana albo here. So I kind of want to repot it and combine it with the rest of my monstera albo. So that's what I am going to do. Yeah. And if you have been following my recent videos, you know that a lot of my plants have been suffering this winter, especially after I went on vacation and left them alone for 2 weeks. I mean, I did a lot of measures to ensure that they're going to be fine, but a couple of them did suffer. And and again, if you watch my previous video, you know I lost my monstera albo. So that one kind of sucks. So now I'm kind of like very wary and very kind of like helicopter parenting my plants, because I just want to make sure that none of them are also rotting. Like yesterday, I repotted my Shangri-La POTHOS because it was suffering from root rot, and I probably could have probably prevented the root rot if I attended to it right away, because the day after I checked my prop box, I already knew that there was something wrong with the skeleton pothos. I also ignored it like I did with the monstera albo. But when it started like showing yellowing leaves, I repotted it, as we saw yesterday, because I didn't want it to suffer the same fate as the monstera albo, which I made a lot of mistakes on it. I really have nobody to blame but myself, because first I should have just left it in the original container or planter that it was. Yes, I did repotting then, but I should have just waited until I come back. And second, putting it in a self-watering planter. I really shouldn't have put it in a planter that I'm trying out for the first time. I should have placed it in a terracotta pot if that's what I wanted, is to repot it, or just again wait until I came back to repot it, or check it after I repotted it before I left, which I also did not do. So, and when I also returned, I didn't repot the monstera albo right away. I kind of like waited a week, because I'm like, well, there's a new growth, so I don't think it's gonna be that bad. It probably just suffered a little bit of root rot. No, it suffered complete root rot, and now all I have is nothing of it. I mean, there's still a node that is in this prop box, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna make it. I have successfully propagated plants from single nodes, and I kind of already can tell whether it would survive or worth giving the effort or not. I don't think that albo would. I know, we will see. I mean, so far it hasn't completely rotted off, so there's hope in there, but it also hasn't, but it's still like completely dried out, but then the other side is like completely brown. So again, not really sure what's gonna happen with it, but I'm just gonna roll with it and see what happens. And this pop box is also like has fungus gnats, so I put a sticky strap in there too, and I'm also gonna probably let it air out after I repotted this, because this one is also in the prop box, just to make sure all those fungus gnats leave. Or I don't know, maybe I should just like close the prop box and then have the sticky trap there, let it capture all the fungus gnats, and then open it back up so that the fungus gnats don't spread to my other plants that are in my room. So maybe that's a better thing to do, so like, you know, have a controlled environment for the fungus gnats. But I mean, there's no really avoiding it. Like when it comes to fungus gnats, they're not really bad for the plants, they're just annoying for us humans. So, but I just want to get rid of the fungus gnats and like try to control the problem before it gets really bad, because I already had experience in the past where the fungus gnat problem has become really bad, and it's annoying. Like, again, not bad for the plants, but terrible for us plant parents, especially if you're like me, you have your plants in your bedroom. Like most of my plants are in my bedroom, so it's just a nightmare to have all those fungus gnats flying around when this is also the place that I rest, I sleep, and do all my work. So I spend a lot of time in my bedroom. But yeah, so that's not bad. None of them are suffering root rot, thankfully. but I'm pretty sure they don't appreciate having their root system disturbed. So I'm gonna put them back in the prop box and let them recover from that transplant shock. But yeah, so this one is my epipremnum pinnatum variegata. It is variegated, it's just very little variegation right now. And the monstera standleyana albo.